Morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Morning, Danny. Morning, Mark. Morning, Robert. Morning, Mumo. Great Buster. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Last day of the month. Morning, Barry. So Friday, 28th, last day of the month. Possibly some big moves today, hopefully. So end of month basically is often a time where the markets have a big day. Looks like we're already having a big day. Some ADRs already hit. Basically just them balancing books and getting the commission in at the end of the day, which is what it's all about for the banks. So some ADRs already hit today. The news today isn't particularly exciting. We got GDP and PCE this afternoon for the CAD and the US. We've got the German CPI numbers coming out at some point today. So Germany's CPI numbers are released state by state. There's 6 states. So what we do is we get Bavaria's number come out, then we get someone else's number come out, and throughout the morning we build up a picture of the entire CPI for Germany. Germany and France make up the majority of the CPI for the euro, so it's kind of one of the most important numbers. We're forecasting an increase, so we could see a big deviation on that today potentially, which will be obviously give us a big deviation in the euro. So be prepared for that. It's always sometime in the morning though. Generally, somewhere between sort of 9 to 11 o'clock ish, somewhere it comes out. So, but it tends to come out quite quickly, state by state. So be aware of that this morning. There's potential euro movement. This afternoon's news is obviously just CAD. Probably won't do an awful lot, might do, but and PCE, which isn't particularly impactful either. So. Morning, FTNet. So overnight news, not a lot really. We had obviously Trump meeting Starmer yesterday. Trump is meeting Zelensky today. So we could see some very big moves. That'll be this afternoon while they're thrashing out what they're going to do with the Ukraine situation. Some French news came out this morning, but nothing particularly exciting really. Ramsden just saying CPI downside risks have disappeared, but yeah, that was pretty much it. So nothing overnight really that's exciting. We've had lots of noise coming out of the Fed, but the Fed is really not impactful at the minute. It's all about Trump. So we'll wait and see what he says later. Morning, Ace. Morning, Sarah. So that's your news today. That's what's coming up. Markets this morning, very, very big move on the FTSE, absolutely skyrocketing at the pre-market. So if you're taking the pre-market open, you're doing very nicely, 1.5 hour at the minute. Plenty of room as well, up to yesterday's high. So easily achievable that this morning. So if you took the pre-market today, 5, 10 or 15, roughly 158, you're looking at 800 odd to the upside. So plenty of room for a 3 to 5 hour move to the upside. Nothing taken on this one for me. So DAX as well, not particularly exciting this morning. Great day yesterday. This is OLB version 2 that we've been looking at in the member streams, up 121 over the last 4 weeks, 121%. Nice big day again yesterday. So doing some more back testing on that. We covered. We did a lot more back tests. We did a forward test and back test comparison in the member stream yesterday on this new variation on the strategy, and I did some more in-depth analysis on it yesterday. So very interesting from a profit perspective. Very nice clean equity curve as well. So I'm going to do some more testing on this and be having a look at it. I'll come back to that in a minute. We'll look at what's going on the indices in about 5-10 minutes. Morning, Chris. Morning, outro. You should make some position trading merch. I'm now an advocate. I have got merch, but it's market structure trader merch. But I've never sold any. It's on the YouTube channel somewhere, but there's not enough people in here to sell merch. Let's face it. If I had 1,000 people in here every day, then yeah, probably start a little sideline. But then again, if I had 1,000 people in here every day, I'd be earning more money from the YouTube than I make out of trading. So it'd be pointless, wouldn't it? As you know, most of the people that have 1,000 people in their live streams aren't actually making money trading. They're making money selling you something else, which is part of their job. Anyway, not going into that. Euro New Zealand, big push up. So we've got some really big, strong pushes and squeezes on the Aussie New Zealands at the minute. They are off the charts. So really, really strong movement on these. You can see how both of them are very strong at the same time, which means they go sideways. Aussie's getting a little bit of advantage this morning. But yeah, so very big, strong moves on those at the minute. You got weekly ranges. Whoops, I broke my dashboard. You got weekly ranges at the moment, which are like up to 150 on some of these, but it is Friday. So it's one of those things, if you look at them, Euros, Aussie dollar Swiss, for example, you need to get in this now, 15-minute time frame. You just had a reverse alert on it. So it's one of those, we're 150% of the weekly range. If it's going to go, it's going to go today. You're going to look for a nice little scalp on these types of moves on a Friday, but they're down here for a reason. So we'll see how these all plan out today. We could see a big day today because it's the end of the month, so we'll see. But CAD yen is an ADR hit today, so that's an ADR to the upside. It's just hit ADR. 5-minute reversal alerts miles away. Starting to come off of ADR now. Euro Swiss is also extended. Again, that's starting to roll over. You've just had supported the propulsion gap, but some nice wick rejection there on the hourly. That is a doji there. So it's not a very clean 3-bar reversal, but it kind of is a 3-bar reversal. It's a 4-bar reversal. It's a push, pause, pause, pull, which is kind of the same thing. You just had 10 minutes of rejection instead of 5. So there's potential for a good short opportunity on that one now. Reversal alerts down there. Euro yen. Again, all these yens are extended. We're up at 125 ADR on Euro yen. Yeah, big strong move there into propulsion. This is struggling here. We've got nice divergence going on here at the minute. Bullish divergence. So we just had a reversal alert on the hourly time frame. So potentially you could look for a retest of that. Not really sure why the yen would be quite so weak this morning. I haven't seen anything overnight really that said we should be having such a weak move on it, but we have. So pound yen, again, it's all the same stuff. It's all the yen pairs basically. So weak yen overnight and US yen. Starting to roll over these all now. I just want to quickly check my trend account because I've got quite a lot of, well, I've got only yen running on it. 8% open. Right, okay. So closed out Euro yen at break evens, loss on the pound, nice profit on the CAD, and I've got 8% running an open P&L. That's nice. Ooh. Right. So those are your ADRs, weeklies. No point in looking at the monthlies because it's the end of the month. So US dollar CAD is the thing that we've had the most movement on this month. As we know, it's been a big month for that one, but not because of any other reason than that. Yeah, we started up there, and we started basically the month off with a move which was about 6 ADR. So you know that reading on the monthly, everything is skewed this month by the Trump Canadian tariff cock up, basically. So you can't really take any of the monthlies into account this month because they've all been skewed. RSIs, the RSI dashboard is lit up like an absolute Christmas tree. So we've got some massive numbers in here. So I'll go through these. We're going to look at the zones in a minute on the Zone Trader account anyway. But these are all the hourlies. And these are the 4 hourlies, these are the hourlies. So we'll have a look at them all. Pretty much everything is extended at the moment anyway. So pound odd is flying. Yeah. Yeah, we're off on that one. That's going to be a nice reversal when that happens. So again, hourly RSI extension embedded. We've been embedded on this pretty much since Wednesday. So solid. We hit the RSI extension. Lovely wick went into the upside there, and it's just gone. So again, pound will probably be very strong because of yesterday's meeting with Trump and Starmer. Obviously, it was great. Yeah, he loved us. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't see continued strength on that pound. No reason not to. Downside CPI risks are disappearing. So yeah, all good. BTC, don't do crypto shit in here. Sorry. I finally found out. Finally got out of my Aussie dollar US dollar yesterday. Been in it for a good couple of weeks. Cool. So we've hit propulsion. That's complete. It's 50% retracement. So I think Trump's making a lot of noise now about these tariffs. And obviously we've got the new CAD Mexico tariff coming in on Monday. So we'll wait and see what happens. But there's a good chance we might get some strength now coming through in the US. We'll have to wait and see what the market makes of it. But there's a lot of negative about the US dollar at the minute, obviously because of what Trump's doing. So he's really screwing things up. But things are starting to fall into place with trade deals now. So as it becomes more clear what Trump is doing, we should get more readable market conditions. At the moment, it's just all over the place, obviously, because he's changing his mind every 5 minutes and there's no clarity. None of the central banks have got any clarity as to what to do with interest rates because they don't know how inflation is going to be affected, because they don't know how much it's going to cost, because the trade deals are all woolly and up in the air at the moment and nothing's been signed. So there's no bank at the moment that can say what's going to happen with interest rates because they are affected by CPI, and CPI is affected by the cost of goods, and which is PMI, and PMI is affected by trade deals. Yeah. So if you're a purchasing manager, the purchasing manager's index is going to tell the consumer price index what's going to happen to cost of goods, which means we need to adjust inflation to keep that all under control. The purchasing managers haven't got a clue whether their wood is going to cost $10 or $35 next month. So it's a case of, at the minute, every central bank is sitting there going, please just let us know what you're doing to the Americans, because every country at the moment cannot forecast anything. So hence we're getting a lot of this in the market. But this is the first time it's lit up since January. I think probably the first time this year we've actually had some movement. So we're going to just quickly look at some of these because there's some massive opportunities on these. Aussie dollar CAD, hourly and 4 hourly. The hourly is down below 30. In fact, there's no point in, we might as well just go through every pair because obviously every single thing is extended at the minute. Let me just quickly look at the indices. Okay, so 15-minute ORB on the DAX is in play. FTSE's not right for that strategy this morning. So Aussie dollar CAD, you've got an opportunity for a long back up into there. Obviously, this area down here, if we get all the way down here without a pullback, you'll be getting a bounce out of that. So very nice extension to the downside. 4 hour. Again, this is territory we very rarely get to. Down below the 20 and above the 80 on the 4 hour RSI is, it's not often we get down to these sorts of levels. And when we do, it's very rare that we do not have some kind of pullback. Yeah. So very good, strong opportunity for a long on the Aussie CAD there. Aussie Swiss 4 hour RSI extension, that is just turning over down at the weekly lows. We've got a monthly low coming up as well. So again, that entire move there, looking for some kind of retracement on it. You're looking for minimum 50%, minimum 30%, 50%. Yeah, so you should be back up into here next week. Aussie dollar yen, massive extension again, back down below that 20 level. Yeah, you don't get down below the 20 level without getting some kind of pullback commencing. And same with there's nothing extended above 80, but you know, we're going to get pullback up into here in all likelihood. This is yen though, so don't know about the yen at the minute. Aussie New Zealand flat. Look, one of the few that we've got no movement on. Why? Because the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are pushing really hard together. A strong against a strong equals a range. There we go. So you get two bullish currencies together, you get a range. Aussie US, big extension to the downside. I'm really glad I got out of this on Wednesday. So I got out my shorts there. I was expecting some kind of reaction at these highs, which we did. We reacted at it twice, which is why I got out. In fact, we reacted at it 3 times. Then we broke it, retested it, and we haven't looked back since. So where this is going to the downside, it's a little bit tricky to tell at the minute. But very good extension, very good opportunity for longs. CAD Swiss, reversal, that's just gone on that one, but the long opportunity was back here. So we did have a little push up. We're holding these lows at the moment. So potentially this is the start of a multi day, potentially multi-week W pattern reversal. So we'll see where that one goes. CAD yen, that one's not extended. Swiss yen, sideways. Euro odd, big extension to the upside. So this is a lovely area for sells. So, you know, you see the size of that move and then look at the size of that move and then look at what you get. This is the profit take. So this is the banks and institutions scaling into shorts. No one left at the bottom here to buy it because they've already bought everything on the way down. So they have no choice but to reverse and take profit on the leg. Same thing here. Yeah, they're going to take profit on that leg, probably down into this propulsion. So very, very good looking short. I've got 3 on this at the moment. I'm hoping we can maybe get up to here today. If we can test 125 ADR today, that'll be it. So I'd love to get another one on up there so that we can get that really nice drop and benefit from that. EuroCAD, middles, nothing on that one. Missed that. I've already got buys on this. Where's the position trader EA gone? Oh, I was testing on it, wasn't I, yesterday? I was going to say my average has disappeared. I'll just put it back on. So yeah, this is my average at the moment. So yeah, it's coming back to break even. Beautiful big reversal there on that one on the hourly. So very, very strong push. Is that weakness in the Swiss? Yeah, it's a Swiss franc weakness coming in. Not difficult. It's difficult to tell at the moment. Everything's moving, so it's a bit difficult to tell who's in control, whether it's the euro being strong or the Swiss being weak. It's definitely the Swiss being weak at the moment, but it might be a combination of both. So we could see a nice 125, 150 ADR move today if we can come up into that propulsion. I think that's my target on that. Yeah, so that's my target. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, that's the propulsion today, isn't it? So my upside target is up there at the moment. I'll wait and see. I'll basically wait and see what the P&L is like when we get there. We'll cover the zones in a minute. So euro pound, that one, we've just had a reversal on that from the extension yesterday. You've got to watch this area here though, because this was previous support. We've now smashed it, so it could just test that propulsion and drop from here. Again, pound did very well with Trump yesterday, so it might rally the market. It certainly has rallied the stock market this morning. Obviously, the FTSE is up a lot, so we may get some sustained strength in that pound. If the euro strengthens as well, obviously this is just going to go sideways, which is what this does most of the time. It's not the best pair in the world to trade. Euro yen, just tapped into extension there. Euro New Zealand extended and embedded. So this is a lovely opportunity for shorts. We've just broken out of this range and we are up at the previous 3-month high. So this is the high from December last year. So this is last year's high pretty much. So if you take this kind of spike out of the equation, pretty much that is last year's high, which is kind of a double top. So we are now testing new highs here. So whenever you get out of a new high, the amount of strength it takes to break a monthly level that has been multiple times sold is a lot. So the run up to this, to get the orders up to this level and then actually break through that level, is very, very tough. So what you tend to find is there is exhaustion once you break that peak, and then you pull back, and then you take another run up if you're going to continue structure to the upside. So I would expect this to collapse back down next week. It's an absolutely huge parabolic move. So this level here, obviously, if we're going to do a flag break, would be where you'd buy it. But the speed of that move, I suspect we are going to get some kind of pullback. So this is a good example of a flag break. Yeah, so you could just get a flag break back into these sorts of highs down here somewhere. But potentially it could fail here. It's failed once, it's failed again. We are testing it again. You're never going to get exactly the same high. Every time you come and test a level, it's not going to test it to the same level. It's going to test it somewhere around it within an ADR. So, you know, we're an ADR above pretty much, well, not even that actually, about half an ADR, quarter of an ADR above that level. This could just be a false breakout and it's going to completely collapse down. But look at the level we're at. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the RSI dash and you see anything in single digits like this here, or, you know, tens, single digits, 10s, 12s, 13s. Yeah, these numbers do not come around very often. When they do, there's been something parabolic happening after an exhaustion. If the market is exhausted and then it gets some fundamental to drive it higher, the problem they have is they cannot get those orders executed. There's no one left to sell. Yeah, if you've been buying for 3 weeks or however long it may be, and you need to buy a load more, you can't. You physically can't. There is a limited amount of capital that can go in each direction in each institution. They know what they're doing with it. They're swapping money and swapping orders basically to make profit. They have to take profit. When you get a move that gets extended beyond these levels, it's very, very, very hard for you to find liquidity to drive it higher. So things like the New Zealand US, which we'll look at in a minute, are at a level where you're just not going to really get any further with it because it's just too extended. So Euro New Zealand, very, very, very extended. You can tell it's extended. You've got kind of flat divergence going in. Look at the size of that 2-day push with no relative strength. This is exhaustion. This is the market pushing way beyond the prices it wants to achieve because there is no sellers here. They wanted to sell a load here and here and here and here, but they couldn't. So they had to squeeze the market through to find people that were willing to sell at the monthly high and above it. There's not much up here. So it's like a plane climbing. Eventually, it's going to climb too high. There's not enough oxygen to drive the engine, and it goes bang, and it comes back down again. Yeah, that's the profit take move. And the profit take move is usually twice as fast as it's taken to run up. So 48 hours, you could have 200 ADR move to the downside on that very easily. Euro US dollar. Big push down again. I got out of that one yesterday, pushing back up. So looking for it to come back up into the propulsion gap there. Pound US dollar, again, same thing. Sorry, pound odd. Same thing with this one. Pound obviously has had a very, very good news event with Starmer yesterday. He did well. So still, it's exhausted. It's coming down. We got a weird wedge. This is not often you see this sort of pattern. So again, talking about divergence, I don't use it in my trading, but it is a confirmation signal. A lot of people try to build strategies around divergence. Divergence is a side effect of price movement rather than a signal itself. It's a confirmation. So if you've got an RSI extended, you've had a reversal alert, and you've got divergence. Divergence is kind of the icing on the cake. It's not the be all and end all, but it's nice to see it. So you can see here the relative strength is hitting a level. Yeah, and we are running out of strength as we're getting there, but market is pushing higher. So that is incredibly bearish divergence. these types of moves where you're getting these levels up here with divergence and you see a move that parabolic, these are the ones where, you know, they're worth the stop loss strategies. They're worth the ones where you get in and get stopped out 2 to 3 times trying to pick the top of the market, because you are going to pick the top of the market on one of these, and when you do, it is going to drop so fast and hard you will be able to get a break even on it. It won't come back. So these are the types of moves, when you see them, you can't base your trading career on them because they don't happen very often, but when they do happen, they're the ones where you're going to pay the mortgage. So, you know, something that's extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 days solid straight up, you go back and look on your charts and try and find moves like this. They don't happen that often. Saying that, we had one last month. You know, you get these big parabolic moves, but if you can catch the top of one of them, they really, really pay out. There's one there. Look, bang, boom. Come down 2 days, 50% of that move. So it's taking 7 days to go up, completely undone 50% of it within 2 days. Yeah. So you're going to get ADR followed by ADR, because the profit take move is twice as fast as the run up, always, because you've got that scared factor. Everybody that's sitting on this now is absolutely killing it. They're looking at their P&Ls getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That 1 4-hour check where their P&L drops by 10%, that scares the crap out of them. They then go, I'll take some profit. When they take profit, everyone else sees them taking profit. So now everyone else's P&L is down 15%. So they take profit, and it becomes a snowball that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and faster. Climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. Pound odd, pound cad, also extended. 4-hour, lovely 4-hour extension. Again, huge move, profit take. Huge move, profit take. Yeah. So looking for that pullback from this area. It's already underway. Again, you've got lovely divergence in play at the moment. So yeah, looks good. Monthly. It's a beautiful monthly rejection. Look, when I say it doesn't happen to the pip, sometimes it does. So yeah, off the monthly highs. So you can see basically the guys that were selling here. Yeah. So we hit this level, we had sellers step in, buyers tried to push, sellers stepped in, buyers tried to push, sellers went no, and then the buyers went, yeah, you're right, we'll sell as well, and you get double the move, because everybody that's trying to go long flips short and joins the party. Therefore, you get twice as much volume, twice as much movement. When you get back to that area, you ain't going any higher. So what we've got here is basically the iceberg orders sitting at that level, re-triggering. Yeah, so it's basically either going to be a wedge pattern breakout or it's not. And if it's not, it's going to come down hard. Pound Swiss, messy sideways. All the yens obviously are going up nicely at the moment. So I've got pound yen on there at the minute. Long. Pound New Zealand. Again, this is I'm gonna have to, every now and again you have to put a line on it and go, have we ever been here? Doesn't look like we have. Well, we haven't been here since, we haven't been here for over a year, put it that way. This is about 14 months on the chart here. Yeah, we haven't been here in the last year. The last times we were close were there and there. But apart from that, we've not been anywhere near this. So massive push. Yeah, that sort of size push. There's your pullbacks. Yeah, it's exhaustion. And especially at the monthly highs. It's shot. So pound New Zealand. I haven't got my position trader EA on. I need to put the EA on because I can't even see the swaps. I was doing some development work on the position trader EA yesterday, and I've got a new version with protection in it. I don't know if this is going to work. It is. Oh, hang on. I need to trade that, change that to button trading only. Okay. Yeah, so come on, swaps. Let me just switch charts because it needs to switch charts to refresh that. So yeah, swaps on this unfortunately are too high. It's, you know, this is the sort of situation where even though Swiss yens just hit ADR as well, so all the yens now. This is the sort of situation where I'm looking at this going, do you know what? Even though it is $8 to hold it, opportunity. Yeah, so it's one of those I kind of want to get into, but rules is rules. Pound US dollar, but I mean that is an unbelievable extension. So yeah, like it a lot. There's a good example, climbing up the stairs. Yeah, there's your elevator shaft. Yeah, somewhere between 38 to 50%, you know, 40 to 50% retracement, and it will happen so fast. It's the profit take. Basically, it's the market. If you think about it from your point of view, if you're sitting watching your P&L, right, and you're watching this P&L here in green, and you're seeing I'm up 0.79%, then you see I'm up 0.81, then I'm up 0.85, then I'm up 9, then I'm up 1%, then I'm up 1.1%, then I see that 1.1% become 0.8, right? What do? Go, oh, I better get out. So you close the position. Closing the position, you also become a seller. Everyone else that hasn't closed their position yet has seen their P&L drop by that much. Now they've seen their P&L drop by more because everybody that saw that in the first place is starting to sell. Then everybody sells, and it becomes a panic sell, which is why you get the move that is taking forever to get there, because everyone's adding and piling in and being careful and cautious and watching it go up, and then they panic. And that's exactly what you see happening when we have these profit take maneuvers started. Yeah. So you got that move there, happened within 8 hours. It took 3 days to get there. It took one session to remove it. Yeah. So it's very, very typical for us to just see any kind of news event will trigger this. So it doesn't have to be news on the pound or the New Zealand. It would just be like Trump says something, sell it, and they will just kill it off. So these, like I say, these are the ones where when you're dropping down M5, they're the ones where it's worth having a crack. There's a beautiful 3-bar reversal just gone in. Look, push, pause, pull. That is a textbook 3-bar reversal. Unfortunately, it's got a whacking great spread on it. But, you know, hit the sell button now. Stick a stop loss above there, plus the spread. You know, and if you catch the 8-hour move, job done. Look at your risk. It's tiny. Yeah. You stick 0.5% on that, and then stick underneath this reversal alert, stick another 0.5% risk. So you got a 1% on, but stick half of it on now, stick half of it on there. If you catch it, you're going to make a lot of money. But, you know, you can't sit around waiting for these types of setups all week because you're not going to find them. You know, they're these parabolic moves, when they happen, you've got to act on them fast. Pound US dollars extended to the downside. I kind of want to get out of some of this. I really need to get onto the zone account so I can start doing some profit taking. New Zealand dollar CAD, nice extension. Again, looking for that to push all the way back up there. I need to make this line thicker. I need an input for that, don't I? Why didn't I put an input for size of line in there? What an idiot. Anyway, right. So yeah, nice extension down for a long there. You've got a nice weekly level coming up. You've got another weekly coming up there. So I'm already in 2 on this anyway. 4 hour, obviously, again, very big extension down below the 20 level. Again, last time we were down here, we had one there. You also had an extension there, which accumulated for 2 days, unfortunately, but then you got that. And if you didn't get that, you got that. So again, lovely bullish movement at the moment on that. However, obviously, poor old CAD. Well, we don't know about poor old CAD yet because we don't know what the reaction is going to be yet. Tariffs are coming in next week, but we don't know how the Canadians are going to react yet. So New Zealand dollar, yeah, big strong push back up from here. I've got 4 on this. I really need to do the zones because I might want to take another on this. I do want to take another on this. I'm literally just placing the zone on the price now. Hopefully we're still below that level in the next 10 minutes, because I want another one on this. I want the average down. That's going to be my target. Just going to move that one now. Just while I'm motivated, because we got so much movement happening this morning. I really need to get on and have a look at those. New Zealand dollar yen 3-bar reversal just going in there, which means you've had a reverse alert on the 5 or the 15. So nice 15-minute reversal there. So again, that one's pushing up very nicely. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, hourly. Big extension to the downside. Again, we're at a weekly level. The market's going to be watching this price point because they bought it last time. If there is interest in rebuying here, you're going to find all the sellers will be using that to exit their positions. Will be popping. But again, Trump meeting Zelensky today. If that is bullish US, we will extend. So just bear that in mind. Don't get complacent that it's going to do that because it's always done it in the past. The market will teach you that it doesn't matter how many times it's done something in the past, it will do something different if it needs to. If out of today's meeting with Zelensky comes a massive deal, which is going to create huge additional wealth for the US in a mineral perspective, or make it cheaper for the minerals they're going to get from Ukraine to be produced and sold, we will have a bull move on the US. So just don't get... Nothing is a given, but obviously, yeah, you've got to bear in mind what's going on with world events at the minute. US dollar CAD, big extension to the upside. Obviously, there's a short opportunity on there. US dollar Swiss, that's nicely in profit. That's that one, isn't it? Just watching this because I haven't done an update on this on socials or on Discord for ages, but I'm up 3.4 this week, up 10% on the month now. I'm just watching this because I almost banked this yesterday. I've got just over 1% I can bank now. So I'm just cautious because we have got a lot of movement on the go at the moment. And I don't want to lose out on the profit. US dollar yen, so that's a nice big strong push to the upside. Again, this is a breakout going on, or attempted breakout going on at the moment, but we are just coming to tap into that level. So might hold, otherwise we're heading up into here. So yeah, we'll see, but long only on US dollar. So there you go. So pretty much everything is extended to some degree at the moment on RSI. You've got the pound pairs which aren't, but they are about to. So yeah, huge movement over the last 48 hours. So very, very big, strong moves going on all over the place at the minute. Right, let me just catch up on chat. Interested to hear about your V2 on the ORB? Could you outline what the changes are? Yes, all in the member stream, Thought Feeder. I've been covering it for the last week or so in the member stream. If you want to know, go and have a look. It's all in there. ORB V2, ORB V2, ORB V2. Well, there's 3 videos on it anyway. But it's all in the member streams. Members only content. Thought Feeder, he discussed it in the member stream. Oh, there you go. Aljo's just saying. Just want to know how the E works. If it's good, I'll buy it. Cool. When it's released, then you can have it. But if you want to know all the secrets going into it, you'll have to buy it. Buy the membership now. Morning, Virginia. Morning. Oh, wise one. Yes. Let me have a look at these zones. Morning, Peter. I am short pound odd with the 7th position. What are your ideas about drawdown control? Aggressive on the pound odd? Yeah, I mean, this is you know, prime time for aggressive drawdown control. So if you look at the recent high RSI levels we've had back in October, and that is a little bit of an anomaly. So this spike isn't real, basically. This is slippage. But that was the sorry, that one there, wasn't it? Was the other one. We had a bit of a pullback on that, but where we are now, there's another one here as well. Where we are now basically is exactly where you want to be doing aggressive drawdown control for two reasons. First, it's an extension beyond the norm. Second, we've got a monthly resistance coming up. So monthly highs and lows are the exhaustion points of previous moves. So we are up at levels where we have previously exhausted. Those sellers are no longer in place. However, this is where the move started and the additions had happened. You will have price action at that point. So if you know there's a aggressive drawdown control is done on strength. Yeah. So what you would do is wait for price to get to this area and then wait for bearish price action. So wait for a reversal alert on the 5 or the 15, wait for a 3-bar reversal, wait for a moving average cross, wait for some kind of sell to happen to tell you that, yeah, this is the point where we are starting to kick off. So you had a reversal alert there this morning, but the ideal is to wait for it to get to here, because this is the exact point the banks and institutions placed their iceberg order and no one got through it. That is where a load of banks and institutions looking to get on the sell side will be looking to enter the market. But the other important factor you need to think about is all the banks and institutions that are currently long in this position will have a target set. Where are you going to set your target? Where you sold it before. So this is where they sold it before. We are very close to getting there. And the nice thing about today is it's within ADR, so it's easily achievable. So when you get there, if you need to do aggressive drawdown control, that is where I would do it and stick half an ADR stop loss on it. Get in with a decent size. If you find it working out, add another one. Because when this does come down, it's going to come down fast. Yeah, you're going to see a very quick ADR drop. It may not happen until next week. The problem you've got today specifically is it's Friday. So if this doesn't play out today for any reason, you're going to be holding an Australian dollar overnight. The Aussie New Zealand dollar swaps and spreads on Monday mornings can be up to an ADR. So if you have an aggressive drawdown control position on and you have a stop loss half an ADR apart, you'll probably be triggered on it. So on Monday over, when it market opens Sunday night. So it's a dangerous one for aggressive drawdown control, but it is exactly where you want to be doing it. If this was yesterday, I'd be having no problem with it. But today, if you haven't played out and we've accumulated and we're sitting around that monthly high and you've got a stop loss up there, they will trigger that. Your broker will trigger that on Monday morning, Sunday night. Assuming we don't get a gap, obviously. But, gaps go in your favor as well. So, aggressive drawdown control is done ideally at levels of support resistance where you have the highest probability of the banks and institutions stepping in at your level. Yeah, especially if it's pushed just slightly above it and then rejected. Orders don't sit at a price point. That just happened to be the last sell that went in there, but orders were scattered all over the place. There's orders up here that wouldn't have been triggered on it. Yeah, so somewhere around there, you're going to find the price action kicking in. If it blows through the level, you're not getting in. That's the whole point in using signals. Yeah, if the market blows through this and we get bull for the next 4 hours, you're not going to sell it, are you? You sell it when you get some bearish price action, which is what the reversal alert indicator is telling you. Yeah, bears are taking control. Or a 3-bar reversal is going in. There isn't one on this, but yeah. You see that pause and that pull and the reversal alert is down here. Take that if you want to. Have a tighter stop maybe on a 3-bar reversal, because a 3-bar reversal either works or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, if it's going to invalidate that high, you want out of it anyway. But add more here. And then you've got an average somewhere here. So if you think about what price action does when you get to a high, if you add your first entry here on a 3-bar reversal, Yeah, and then it pulls down and you get a reversal alert and you add more here. Yeah, your average is somewhere around about here. What's going to happen after the reversal alert? Usually a retest, and then that high will not be invalidated and the M pattern formation starts. So that average there will take very little heat on a retest. If a retest happens, you know, a lot of reversal alerts don't get retested. I should imagine the one down here didn't get retested. That one did. So we did have a retest on that. But yeah, it goes perfect example of what you'll expect. So that isn't quite a 3-bar reversal, but let's say that was a push, pause, pull. You'd enter one here. The reversal alert is here. So when we trigger above that level, you enter a second. There's your first, there's your second, your average is here. There is your retest, or that is your retest. You didn't take any heat on the trade because you split it into two. So you don't have to get in with aggressive drawdown control in one lump sum. However, if you'd got in with it there and that one lump sum, I mean, my stop would be sort of quarter to a half ADR. You know, you're never in danger. But when you've got massive exhaustion, which this really wasn't, but when you get massive exhaustion, as soon as that move starts, it tends to work because the market is scared. The market is watching its P&L, and its P&L is dropping. Therefore, it takes profit. So it's the safest place to do it. Amazing how different your broker swaps are. I'm short pound New Zealand, taken manually, long swap -225, -275. Yeah. So some brokers will have different prices on different things. Yeah. I'll have better swaps than you on other stuff. You'll have better swaps than me on other stuff. Most of them will be the same because they're based on interest rates. So basically, the way that brokers swaps work is obviously it's the interest rate, so it's what they're paying basically. So if their bank that they've taken the loan out on your account for is charging an interest rate of 4%, you will not get a swap lower than 4% unless they're happy to take a loss on your trades. If you're a crap trader and you lose money all the time, they may well take a loss on your trades by offering you preferential swaps to entice you to trade because you're crap. They're going to take all of your money. Yeah, you know, it's basically the way mortgages work. If a mortgage company has huge amounts of borrowing available on small property under 200k, they'll drop the mortgage rates for small mortgages, but the big mortgages will pay more because they've got loads of those. They don't need them. If your broker looks at your account and goes, this guy's deposited £5,000 in £1,000 chunks 5 times over the last 6 months and he's lost every single one of them, let's just give him the best in the world. Don't give him any spread or swap. Just let him trade because he's just going to give us the grand. Yeah. If they're watching me, looking at me going, that guy's generated 45% profit in the last 6 months, make sure he's got big spreads because we don't want him trading this because it's expensive for us to hold his positions because he always wins. I won't get the same thing, will I? They're not stupid. Their job is making money, and that is one of their money-making things. But you know, you go and look at other accounts. It doesn't always work that way. I mean, most people, I mean, you'll think everybody really sees the same swaps, but spreads and commissions and things, you know, they're all variable. When I set stop sell order with a position EA and manually increase the position size, I guess this is no problem. When I set just found out it won't let me manually change the lot size. No, you can't change the lot size of an order. No. If you want to change the size, you need to change it in the settings. But if it's a position, if you're trying to add to a position that's already on, you're going to need to use the lot multiplier to do that. So if you've got a short on at 1 point, if the last trade taken was 1.5 and you want to take a 3, for example, you need to adjust that to, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you would do it, but that is how you would do it. For the ZTEA, what's your approach to closing trades, TP? ZTEA, position trader EA, you mean? Just the zones or precautionary banking for stuff in profit? I don't know, Mumbo. I can't answer that question. It depends on what. Depends on 1,000 things, doesn't it? Oh, zone trader EA. What's my approach to closing trades? Well, you see, I do it every day in here. I set zones. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm long, and that's where my exit is. Zones, it trades from zone to zone. That's the whole point of the zone trader EA. You are looking at where price is going, and when it gets there, it exits the trade for you. But it's position trading, so I may scale in and scale out of some things as well. That's really annoying. I didn't get another trade on that. I really want to get another trade on this. It's the zones. This move up took the price above that zone, so I didn't get set another entry. I really want another entry on this low. Okay, let's go through the zones anyway. I'm going to close out US dollar Swiss. Bank that. Might leave that pound yen running. Pound exposures. All right. New Zealand Swiss is the main thing I need to look at, which I'll be taking another trade on. Right. Okay. So let's go through the zones. Yeah, for the zone trader EA, basically, I'm looking to get from zone to zone. That's it. So the whole point of this is it's kind of like playing pinball. Pinball? Ping pong. Yeah. Market goes up and down. So when you are long, you're looking where's it going up, and when you're short, you're looking where's it going down. Yeah, and you wait for it to get to those zones, and that's literally it. So I'll whiz through all the zones now. There's quite a lot that are going to need adjusting today. So Aussie dollar CAD, obviously first entry's taken here. I was expecting a bounce out of this level here. We didn't get it. It sort of bounced and then we collapsed back down again because we've had the Canadian announcement about the tariffs. So, and the Aussie dollar is all over the place at the minute. So we've pushed down really, really, really hard. So the next entry that I'm going to look to get in on this one is exactly where we are now, which is in these propulsion gaps. So I will take the next bullish price action we get from here, which is going to be this candle will get me in. So this propulsion is what we're testing at the moment. Failing that, it's that propulsion gap there. Failing that, it's these lows down here. You can't see behind my head, but there's other lows behind my head that are at that level as well. So that is my next long. I'll try one here. I've got one there, and I'll try one down there. Where's it going to the upside? Up in that propulsion gap. Yeah, so that's where I think it's going at the moment, because at the moment this is range bound, and until it proves me wrong and it proves it's not in a range, I'm going to assume it's going to stay range bound. So when we're getting down here, if it doesn't bounce at this level, it's going to bounce at this level. So I'm just playing the ranges. So for exit strategy, that's it. Very, very simple. So I'll take one there, and then obviously we'll move the zone down if necessary. Aussie dollar Swiss. This price action today is just really hit hard. It's all on the level, and it's really at awkward levels. So, so new long going to go in at this low. Hopefully, I mean, if it closes up here out of this zone, I'm not going to be able to get it on. I'm not going to be able to get it on anyway, am I? I'm just going to encompass this because I want to try and get a long on this at this point because it's a really good bounce point. And target obviously up at those highs. Aussie, New Zealand, next entry is down there. Sorry, exit is down there. Next entry is up in propulsion. Need a new buy on Aussie US. Yeah, I mean, again, this is the most recent low. So ignoring the Trump Canadian dollar tariff, whatever that was, this was the previous buy point. So it's where we are now. So I want another one on here. Again, I'm just going to encompass the low of that candle just so that it triggers an order. Target to the upside. If I'm going to take a second, I'm actually going to move my target down. So I'll just go for propulsion. So I'm going to have another entry, which means my average is there, and that will be the profit. CAD Swiss, next entry is down in propulsion. We haven't got there, so see what happens with that one on Monday. Euro odd, third entry taken, third short. Up at the highs. So too close to take one in the propulsion because that's where my last order went in there. Excuse me. So yeah, retest the highs. Absolutely exhausted. That would be the ideal today if we can get that area, because the pullback on this is going to be spectacular. So I want my average up here somewhere so that I can really benefit from that move when it happens, and that will become target to the downside. So Euro CAD, yeah, in short, not really gone anywhere over the last couple of days, so those zones are still intact. Euro Swiss, beautiful long. So there's the zone that I bought, this area here. So I'm looking for a target up in that propulsion gap. However, let me just put a new buy on just in case we get a collapse. I've got 4 on this, so as I've got some decent size on it, I'll see what the P&L's like here. What I might just do is pull my target down into those highs at the minute. It's a bit of a, it's not a very clean area, this, but we got this area here, which they pushed down a little bit further into, and then they broke it, retested. They tried again, and they broke it. This is where we sold last time. So it's either going to be there or there for some kind of reaction. But we'll see. So I'll put the zone, the exit there at the minute just to get out. Euro pound, I'm looking for shorts. Got out the last short on that one. I'm looking to get back in again up there. We may well use that accumulation for a continuation short, but I'm going to see if we can get all the way back up. Do you think CAD Swiss will continue to drop? Might do. Don't know. No real reason. Well, there is a reason. How's the market going to react on Monday when the tariffs do or don't come in on the Canadian dollar? We don't know, do we? Because we don't know what's going to happen. At the moment, there's 25% import duty on anything from Canada starting next week. But that's what we had here. And then the day after, he changed his mind. If he changes his mind on this for any reason tomorrow, the market can't react. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to gap dramatically. You'll see a gap go in of an ADR, 2 ADR or something. It's not in our control at all. Fundamentally, the Swiss franc is dropping interest rates like a rock. So, yeah, it should be bearish. However, if we don't get a deal with Zelensky today and the war escalates for any reason, safe haven money will get produced and the Swiss franc will rally like crazy. If the Canadians come to an agreement over the weekend and the tariffs don't hit, the Canadian dollar is going to pop. if the Canadians hit back with 50% tariffs, the Canadian dollar is going to drop. Do you know what I mean? Somebody mentioned in the Discord group the other day about taking trades at random on a flip of a coin and making money. And then someone else came back and said, that's pure gambling. Show me any reason why this will go up or down. I can show you 100 reasons why it will go up or down, but I can't tell you anything because I haven't got a crystal ball. I can tell you what will happen if certain things happen in the future, but I can't predict the future. What I can predict is that price will move up and down, and after a period of time, the banks will be so exhausted they will take profit on their moves. That's all I know for sure because that's all that's ever happened in the past. And that will continue to happen as long as banks need to make money. So I don't know if it's going to continue down. If it does continue down, that's where I'm getting in. If it doesn't continue down, that's where I'm getting out. But I can't tell you what it's going to do because I have not got a crystal ball. I'd love one. If anybody's got one that works, that wants to sell it on eBay, let me know. Put a private auction up and I'll buy it. Or a DeLorean with a time machine in it, obviously. I can get a normal DeLorean, but one with a time machine in, a bit rarer. Anyway, sorry, it's Sarcastic Friday. That's for target to the upside on Euro Swiss. Euro pound trying to get into, can't. Euro New Zealand off. Look at that. Need a new sell on that. Oof. So this is the all-time highs, isn't it, here? And that is our next level to the upside. So that's a bit far away, isn't it? I've got 4 on. So, sorry, I'm thinking, as you can probably hear, or maybe see the smoke coming out. 2 things going through my mind at the moment is, 1, that's an obvious short. 2, it's exhausted so far on this leg that it's likely to want to do a profit take of some degree. Yeah. Which means that if it does that profit take to some degree right now, I can't exit the position. However, if I take another short here on the next bearish price action, my average will move up. And if we do get a profit take and then continuation, I can get out. So I'm mulling in my head now whether or not I should just hit the zone straight on top of this because we're actually 1 ADR away from our previous level already. And just basically get into another trade, and then the backup trade will go up at that high, or whether I leave it and assume that today we are going to rally up into that high. So today, Euro New Zealand just had a weekly alert come up on it. Euro New Zealand is up over 100 ADR already, and we are showing signs of rolling over on the 15. Look, wicks to the upside appearing. So I'm going to do that on the hourly, and I'm basically going to take this trade on this candle. So when this candle closes in an hour's time, because it's 9:05, if this closes bearish, I'm in, and then the average is going to come up, and then I'll be able to get out on the profit take move. And then obviously the next zone placed is going to be here, which is going to be somewhere in the region of 3/4 of an ADR. So that'll take me into 6. That'll be the largest position on then. Euro US dollar, got out the shorts yesterday. Looking for new shorts. I've already set this up. No, I need to reset this up. So yeah, if we're going to get continued US strength, we're going to come and test that propulsion gap, aren't we? That'll do. So these lows here, somewhere around there, I'm expecting price to come up and retest this propulsion and add more into that propulsion gap. Target to the downside I will leave at the somewhere down at these lows down here. Pound odd. how many days have we been trying to get in long on this? I just it hasn't pulled back. I have not had a pullback. This zone after I got out of this long here, so that's the last long I had. I got out at the highs expecting a reaction, and we did have a little reaction there, and then it popped through it and retested it and went. And the next day I said, okay, right, well, we'll target this area here then and see if we can pull back into it when we're up here somewhere. Just didn't. If it had come down one more day, or I'd spotted it 5 or 6 hours earlier, I'd have had that, but I didn't. But I would have been out there. That would have been my exit. So I would not have that. That would be the profit on it. I wouldn't have got this. There's no reason I would have gone anywhere near above that high. But anyway, couldn't get in. I don't really want to get into this long at all. It's far too extended. If anything, you want to be selling it now. But it's too expensive for me. So that's your sell zone right now, and it's massively extended. And you know, this potentially is a lovely target to the downside. However, I'd be watching that area there for a continuation bounce, but not for me. Pound CAD, trying to get into this one long as well. I can't. I'm just leaving that zone where it is at the minute. It's this big propulsion move that we had here. We've got this propulsion move here. This one they already re-added to. This one they've added to twice as well. This one has not been added to yet, so I'm looking to buy that. Pound Swiss shorts. Got out of the longs on this. I'm looking for a new long. Already gone. I missed it. So yeah, missed it. If it retests here, it's this area here. Basically, we basically broke it. Added. Yeah, if they come back down and add again, I'll get in. But I've missed it. Pound US dollar, shorts on at the moment. Next short going in at the high of the week. Exit target to the downside is in the same place, which is this tiny little propulsion gap, which is retested here, but it's not. It's kind of this whole sort of area we've reacted at. So somewhere down there is my exit. New Zealand dollar CAD, second long on, third long. Going to have to use this area down here. So this area here we bought, we came back down, rebought it, we tried to get through it, bought it, had another go, bought it, came back, retested it and bought it. So this is where they're buying. That's where I will get in, down there. Exit target to the upside, I can now move more realistic to there. New Zealand dollar Swiss, already covered this one. I'm going to take a new long because I want to try and get that average down on this big strong push. New Zealand dollar US dollar, first buy has gone in. Second buy actually I want now. Yeah, so second buy will go in now. US dollar CAD, want longs on this. Can't get really in. So let's look at that propulsion gap, see if we can retest all the way down here. We're back up here. So I got out of the longs last week because I'd been in this. The only reason I got out here was because I'd been in it for 4 weeks, and it's, well, not about 3 weeks, and it's just got stuck. Sod's law, when I get out, it gets a pop, but that it did get stuck again there, which is what I was expecting. So the exit was right. So I'll be looking for that. US dollar Swiss, out the longs this morning. So I've just exited those longs in propulsion. So that was my target to the upside up here. So I'm looking for new long entries now on this. That's not a bad area. It's literally stuck it in a pretty good area there. So we've got these highs here. We've retested and rebought that level, which is this area here. Yeah, so support, resistance, support, support. This is a little bit resistive. So somewhere around there, I'll get in for a long, and obviously the second backup will be down at the lows. It's going to need the US dollar to collapse. Again, I have no idea whether this US dollar is bullish or bearish at the moment, and neither does anybody else. So we'll see. Pound yen, longs on at the moment. I'm holding this. I've got 2 on. I'm being paid to hold it. Positive swaps, which is lovely. So the pound yen there. Look, I'm being paid money to hold it. It's lovely. I'm being paid money to hold it. It's good, isn't it? Just keep holding it. So yeah, pound yen, longs on at the moment. This area here obviously is a worry because we resold that propulsion move and made a new low, so market structure is bearish. However, we are holding this low, so the bears have just basically hit an iceberg, and that is a very nice wick off spring. So if we accumulate here, there's a good chance that we will pop from that level. So yeah, we'll see. This, I suspect, will probably pull back down into propulsion today. But strong pound at the minute. And the unknown at the moment is the yen. So we don't know really still to this day how the market is. That New Zealand dollar is about to give you a reversal alert. Look. So yeah, we still don't know what's going on with this yen at the moment. It looks massively bullish, and the market seems to be ignoring the carry trade now. But I don't know. I don't know whether it's bullish or bearish. I mean, it's definitely bearish at the minute, obviously, but long term, I don't know whether I want to buy it, sell it, or do what with it at the minute. All I do know is it's still a safe haven by the looks of things, because every time the Swiss franc rallies, this rallies. So we are still using it as a safe haven because the interest rates are low. So the worrying thing is obviously what's going on today, specifically being the Zelensky-Trump meeting. The war is either going to end today or it's not going to end today, or it's going to make 50% progress to ending, and then it's down to Putin and Trump to decide the rest of it. So one way or the other, Ukraine today find out whether they're going to get weapons or not. And if they don't, it's over. It's over either way, isn't it? So, well, when you say that, it could escalate. But if something goes wrong, that yen is going to power up incredibly quickly. So I'm still steering clear of it. I cannot short it. It's too expensive to short, and it's coming down. So I'm interested in longing it, which means you're always going against the trend at the moment with it. So I'm limiting my exposure on the pound, on the yen at the moment. I've just decided to take that one because it was a really nice setup down at the lows here. But that's it. There we go. Done diddly done. How's the Dublin account going? It blew. Of course it blew. I was never under any illusion it wouldn't blow. It did 100 and... I can tell you what it did. I'll launch it. Oh, my light's gone off. Oh no, it's done that thing again. I've got this remote control, right? I've got 2 lights, one there, one there. They're both on the same remote control. If you don't point this in exactly the right spot, I can turn on one at a time and the other one turns off because I'm pressing the standby button. One turns on, one turns off. That one turns on, that one turns off. Watch. But it's impossible now to get both of them to turn on at the same time. Give up. Everything's trying to be far too clever for its own good, isn't it? Oh my God, this is massive, this account. So basically the Dublin account got up to 180%. There you go, 180% was where we got to. So yeah, it not only doubled it, it almost trebled it. And then it blew because obviously it was taking 1% risk on a range-bound strategy. And what's the market done over the last 3 days? Taken off. Won't survive. but it will survive in 80% of market conditions. So good. This is what compounding is all about, isn't it? Yeah. So you compound it. Yeah. And when you've compounded it, you take it. If you don't take it and you hold it forever, it will blow. Same as martingale. With martingale, it works amazingly until it doesn't. But there's no in between. It's either working amazingly or it is blowing your account. There is nothing in between that. So it's a gambling system. Yeah. Compounding is a gambling system. People think it's a way of growing accounts. It's gambling because you are compounding your lot size, which compounds your balance, which compounds your losses. So especially if you combine compounding with position trading, it isn't going to work long term. But short term, yeah, I took this 10 grand account up to 36 in 4 weeks. So if I had have drawn out 20 grand of that, I wouldn't have lost 36 grand. I've lost 16, which means I've netted 4, which means I paid the mortgage. 80% of the months, that will work. 20% of the months, it won't. But that's what happens when you try and double an account. And this is why everybody you see on the internet that has got one of those, or pretends they've got one of those by sitting on one of those, and they show you P&Ls of ridiculously large sizes, it's all rubbish. Once they blow the account and everybody leaves, they will then start again and everyone will come back. Well, no, new people come back. It's rinse and repeat. But I told you that, didn't I? I said, every time I looked at that account, I said, it's going to blow. It's going to blow. It's going to blow. It's going to blow. And then it blew. Because that's what it does. Right, I'll leave it there. So yeah, banked 0.7 today. I've got pound yen, which is on the cards to bank today as well. Nice clean break on the DAX this morning on the 15-minute ORB. If you took the pre-market on the FTSE, you are 5R done for the day already, pretty much. Not quite. You're 3R anyway. Target hit. Yeah, DAX, they're all nice clean breaks today. So pound yen basically is the other bankable today at the moment until we get some news later. What I'm going to do is anything that is in profit end of day at the moment, I'm going to close out. So if this basically is still sitting in whatever towards the end of the day, I'll close it. I'll also close that out, and I will close that out as we stand right now. If it's say 6 o'clock this evening, that's what I will do. Obviously my P&L will look different then. So but yeah, just starting to close stuff out. There's a couple of areas on the Zone Trader account which are getting a little, not a little dicey really, but the Euro New Zealand, New Zealand Swiss, Euro Odd, and Odd Swiss. Anybody notice any confluence here? Yeah. What do I keep saying about the Aussie and the New Zealand? Yeah, they move together. If you take Aussie Swiss and New Zealand Swiss, you are taking the same trade. If you take the Euro Odd and the Euro New Zealand, you are taking the same trade. You are just doubling your exposure. These guys, 90% of the time, do the same thing. If you long the Aussie and you long the New Zealand, they will both go down together. So that's why that is happening. So, you know, that's a good example of what happens. You're going to have virtually the same trades on everything because those two are so confluent. They just move together all the time. So yeah, there's nothing. That's the only one that's in 2% at the moment, Euro New Zealand. So these are contenders for drawdown control at the moment. So yeah, I will see what we get P&L wise. We're up 170 on the day. If I bank another 170 there and I bank another 170 there, I will probably close one of these out if we are in drawdown still around about the same level. So I'll start drawdown control. All of these are candidates for drawdown control at the moment. So those two actually are candidates for drawdown control. So one of those will go. These two obviously are also candidates. The problem I've got is I cannot do partials on these because I can do partials on these. Oh, right. Okay. So now we are getting to the point where I can do partials. So I can take a 0.1 off of that, but I can't take a 0.6 or a 0.8. I can only take micros on this. Sorry, minis on this, not micros. So I can take a 0.1 off of that to do DD control. I can't do anything with that really. It's not worth taking. I might as well just shut the whole thing on these. I could take a 0.1 off of that as well, but that's not really enough to worry about yet. That one I can do partial on. There we go. So I can actually do partial DD control on the Aussie dollar Swiss. So because the Aussie dollar Swiss and New Zealand dollar Swiss are pretty much in the same boat, but I've got higher lot sizing on these ones I will start to do DD control on. So those will be my DD candidates today, although that is the biggest. So probably close an entire one of those out. But I'll wait for the day to play out. We've obviously got news later, so we're not... we haven't seen the day's moves yet, really. Let's just see if we've got the news coming on the German side. Okay, so Saxony has declared at 2.3 on the year. Rhine is 1.9. Brandenburg is 2.3. Saxony is 2.3. Bavaria is 2.4. That's 5, isn't it? I can't count. So we're one short. So we're just waiting for one state to declare. So forecast is 0.4. That's good. They're not giving us the monthlies, are they? That's annoying. So that's up 0.5 on the month. Saxony is 0.3. Bavaria is 0.4. So we're 0.5, 0.3, 0.4. So we're averaging 0.4. So 0.4. So it's coming out as forecast. So I doubt there'll be any movement on the euro because, the CPI is up, which means that it's less likely they will reduce interest rates, which is slightly bullish euro. So although there's no deviation forecast at the moment, it looks like we're getting pretty much what we forecasted. So the market would have factored that in already. So therefore, no shocks. It's still bullish. So we may well see some continuation bull moves on these euro pairs today. So again, euro odd could continue to rally. Euro Swiss would be lovely if that continues to rally because I'll be able to get out of that. Euro pound, euro yen could obviously take more advantage of that. We could be looking at 175 ADR today on that very easily. Euro New Zealand still pushing. God, that's a pain in the backside, that, isn't it? And euro US as well. So we could see some more bullish price action on the euro this afternoon. We'll see. Right. See where we go. Anybody got any questions? Anything else they want to look at? Anything else? Any other business, as they say? If we were having a meeting? Just want to quickly see. Looking at Bitcoin. Dead. Still got a little bit of room, but just curious. I was just every now and again when you log into Facebook, you get all these memes coming up about Bitcoin buyers and them all screaming and crying and all sorts of stuff. So obviously, I knew there was something going on with Bitcoin. But yeah, so huge drop in crypto. I would imagine all of them are doing pretty much the same thing. So ooh, chocolate, no thanks. So yeah, that's your previous breakout level. So this is the propulsion gap that caused the breakout. So that is where you're likely headed. 73,769 or 73,770 basically for the bounce. So yeah. All these poor people that buy Bitcoins. Bitcoin to the moon. Yep. Boys selling Lambos for margin calls. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It's all kids though, isn't it? Everybody trading crypto is a kid. It's bizarre. It's like it's like it's like people come to me and say, "Hey, have you ever developed a strategy on Renko blocks?" I have, yeah. When I was a child, I used to use Duplo blocks, and then I moved up to Lego. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, Renko is like price action charts, but worse. They're for kids." Yeah. So it's if you can't read price action, you use big blocks. Yeah. If you can't trade proper derivative and other bank-driven products, you trade crypto because nobody knows how it works, nobody knows what drives it, and it just moves at random. So it's really, really good for analysis. But it's actually an index now. If you look at the indexes, if you want to know what's going on with crypto, look at the S&P 500. Yeah. And then go and look at crypto. And then tell me what the hell the point in trading crypto is, because the chart looks exactly the same as this. It's just an index. And it's linked to the S&P 500. So it's just a pointless exercise. But people haven't, well, people have. Most intelligent people have put two and two together now. But then again, look at how long binary options lasted. That went on for years and people still did binary options. But I think it's as long as people are pumping crap out on the internet about making Lambo money by flipping a coin, there will always be something like crypto, something like all of this stuff, isn't there? You know, it's like I can make up a currency tomorrow and you can pay me in it, but I just determine what the price of it is. So here you go. You can have all of my indicators and everything I've ever made in my life for one Samsung coin. Okay. One Samsung coin is worth $2.2 billion, but it's just one Samsung coin. All right, then I'll make it $1.4 billion. I've just changed the price. You don't know why. I just made it up. Crypto. Love it. But the banks, even the bank, you know, if banks have looked at it seriously and they're not doing it, there's a reason, guys. Don't get involved in it. Nobody knows what drives it. It's just doing the same as the stock market now. And I think the reason being is because everybody's just doing the same as the stock market. Bitcoin lucky people who bought in 2014 but would hold it to 100K. Yeah. Well, there's, you know, if you look at the chart, the reason everybody got so excited about it was because of the initial explosion. Yeah. This, you can't see it. It's behind my head. I can't even go back to it, really, but I can't shrink the chart. I can't do anything with it. Let me turn me off. Bye. Is this is everyone got excited at that. That was like, oh, wow. Anybody know why that happened? No? There's my point. Some bloke somewhere on the planet invented Bitcoin and said, go and get a graphics card. I'll put an algorithm out there and you can mine one of these things. I don't think he ever intended it to be a currency. I think he intended it to be a game. And it just turned into something he could make money out of. So he increased the value of it. And then he was like, holy crap, people are just buying this shit. And he carried on with it. Somebody is getting very rich somewhere. But he's very under the radar, isn't he? Putin. I don't know. But look at that. Whoa. Why? And then, oh. I remember the guys that I can't remember where it was. I remember distinctly one guy who I was watching on YouTube who had claimed to make millions in this rally. And he lost virtually everything in, I'm pretty sure it was this dip. This looks like the obvious pattern that he was trying to trade. But he lost millions in this dip. He sold his house, remortgaged his house for, I think it was, can't remember what it was. It's just shy of $1 million or something along those lines. He remortgaged his house to rebuy Bitcoin here. And I followed his channel for months while this was happening, and he was over the moon. He is now bankrupt and homeless. He has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what drives it. It's just pure gambling. Flip a coin on Bitcoin, guys, when it gets to here, and buy it or sell it, because one of those two things is going to happen. But just watch the stock markets and what they're doing. You might get a little bit more of an inkling as to what is going to happen next, because that's literally all it is. Where's my S&P weekly chart? I've got no data look. What the hell's going on there? My S&P seems to have flatlined for some reason. Okay, anyway. Yeah, go and have a look at the S&P. Right, I'll leave it there today. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. I'll be back on Monday as usual. Same stuff. We'll be looking at the... When I get into the front end of the site. We'll be looking at the week ahead, having a look at where everything is going, trade the FTSE DAX as usual, and see what's happened over the weekend. So just be aware. Obviously, anything can happen over the weekend at the moment. So if you've got positions on and you've got profit available, take it. Stick it in the bank, because you can't get it back if it gaps on you. And if there's something that happens over the weekend which completely reverses the direction of anything, you can't do much with it. So just get this in the bank. Worst case scenario, you can add this all back on again on Monday. So if this price point here that you sold at, you've taken the profit on the trade, if it's back up here on Monday, you can add it back on. But you're also better off for doing so. You're not going to be in any worse position if it pushes back to where it was than you are at the moment, but you will be profitable. So take the money where it's there. And if you do need to do DD control on anything, if anything's getting a little bit out of hand, use the week's profit and do some. Yeah. Just keep on top of it as much as you can, basically. All right. Anything else you need, let me know. I will be back Monday. Have a good weekend, and I will see you then.